Hey, what's up guys, I'm Praetorian and welcome back to Crusader Kings III as we are playing as Emperor Adam II. So you may notice that the UI is completely different or has many differences, and that is because we are playing for the first time on the 1.1 patch. Now this patch came out on Tuesday, but we didn't play it on the Tuesday video because obviously I recorded that on Monday, and then in yesterday's video, of course, I was trying to rush through that one because, you know, it was my son's birthday, so we wanted to get that recorded and edited before he came home from school. So I wanted to make sure I was able to read through the whole 1.1 patch notes so that we could go over here in the first video of the patch, go over some of the changes. Not all of them, it's a massive patch. There's so many changes to it. I didn't even read the entire patch notes because it was just too damn long. I skipped most of the bug fixes. Because there's just there's too much to it. So I wanted to go over the ones that are going to mostly affect us here, like ones I've griped about. So we'll discuss some of those changes briefly. But the first thing you're going to notice is that the UI is a bit different. It just kind of looks different. Some things are positioned in different places. You see the stress levels here instead of over here. Just a lot of things look different. Here, this looks a little bit better overall. A lot of UI changes for sure. Overall, there's a lot of bug fixes. The AI was vastly improved. A lot of changes to make the AI just overall play the game better. They should be much better in Warfare as well. A lot of changes to the AI in Warfare, which they were very easy to exploit those problems with the AI. So hopefully the AI should provide a little bit more of a challenge since they're going to be better in that regard. But yeah, I got a little list here, guys. I got a little list of all the things I kind of wanted to mention were changed. So we're going to go over these real quick. The first one is denying call to arms. It now costs fame and reduces your overall the opinion with that character a lot more. So before we were kind of just able to reject call to arms from our allies very easily. We got hit with like a -10 opinion penalty or something like that. I don't know if it was exactly -10, but it was somewhere around there. It wasn't very much. Wasn't that big of a deal. I think you got a little bit more for defensive call to arms, but overall it wasn't too bad. You could easily maintain your alliance even after rejecting multiple calls to arms. So overall, this has been much more costly to do. It's going to cost you fame, which is that's obviously a big deal. But in addition to the fame cost, it's going to make it much more difficult for you to maintain alliances if you continually reject a call to arms. In fact, if you reject one defensive one, that might be enough to ruin the alliance. So I think that's important. The diplomacy modifier here has a plus 3%, this is how much we're getting, but now has a percentage for the monthly prestige. It increases it by a certain percentage. So we're getting a +3 here, plus 3% for our average diplomacy. So that should make diplomacy a lot better. Overall, it was kind of a cruddy skill. It really just helped you, keep your allies in line. I suppose it also helped with actual diplomacy because you improved opinion a bit. But it wasn't enough to really have that much of an effect. I mean, you can see we're +11 here, and we're only getting 3 opinion. That's all we get from our 11 diplomacy. So it just wasn't a very big deal. So I feel like that's good that they made that better. I feel like learning is still a bit weak, though. Overall, I think that's now probably the weakest one, the least useful one. Heresies increase fervor more. So that should result in us seeing overall less heresies because, of course, it's very much based off of the fervor rating. And so when one heresy happens, it should increase fervor a lot more. So we should see overall less heresies. So that's good because they were kind of rampant in the 1.0 version of the game. Knights have been improved quite a bit. So they'll improve from battles more often. So they're going to get more, they're going to get more of the prowess. And then those Blade Master, that's the word I was looking for. The Blade Master skills, those ones should be granted more often as well. So Knights are going to get better from those battles that they're in. They're also less likely to die in any battles where you outnumber the enemy. So that's good. Just overall, they seem like they're a lot less likely to die. So that's very good because the Knights die by a lot. They die quite often, I mean. So the Take Vows interaction, where you demand or ask of a character to take the vows, has had a lot of adjustments. So for instance, you can now do it with characters that are set to inherit. Before, you couldn't use it against any character that was set to inherit a title. So essentially, it was not a method for, making sure in the partition inheritances that, all of the titles went to your character. You couldn't use it for that as you could in CK2, because you couldn't, make anybody, take the vows if they were set to inherit any titles. So kind of strange, because historically that was one way that monarchs would, get rid of, heirs that they don't want around anymore. That was one way to disinherit people. So, we had that ability as the head of house to, disinherit characters using renown, but yet we couldn't use the historical method of, having them take the vows and using the church as a method of disinheriting. They're more likely to accept it as well if they have a learning trait, a learning education. I guess this character doesn't have, I guess none of our children have educations yet. But yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. The learning education, we select that for our children. If they have that, then they're more likely to accept. So that's something I really missed from CK2, where you could essentially train your characters, your children, raise them up to take a position in the church, to maybe one day be, in our case here in CK3, to be in the patriarch position. Maybe not for you, but for somebody else. Maybe they're going to be archbishop here in France or something like that. You weren't really able to do that with your characters, because you the only way to do it is have them take the vows, and they weren't very likely to take the vows. They typically rejected it. You'd have to force them into it with a hook, which that has been changed as well. You can no longer force them to take the vows with just a weak hook. That just makes them more likely to accept. You got to have a strong hook in order to force them to take the vows. And I think that's important now that you can do it with your children, because you always have a weak hook with your children. So that would make it too easy, I feel, to force them to take the vows. But yeah, if you do the learning education, you can actually train up, priest characters, which again is something very authentic. Many times the maybe second or third sons would be trained to go into the church and to become a member of the clergy. And that just, again, wasn't really an option in CK3. Just they didn't allow it. And finally, if they do agree to take the vows, then they leave your court and go to the court of your archbishop, patriarch, bishop, whatever. They go to their court instead. So everybody takes the vow will now be in their court. So I think that's another good improvement overall. So I think that's it. Yeah, that's all I wanted to mention for the take the vows, but a lot of changes for that. So overall, it's just a much better interaction. The AI is now more likely to accept white peace. Before it was kind of hard to get them to accept white peace. They'll be more likely to do so if they know that the war's not going anywhere. It's dragged on for just too long. You can now change the education of your landed children. That was something that was really irritating. If your children were landed, you had no ability to change their education, which was kind of strange. But if they're landed and they're your vassal, so if they live somewhere else, they're landed in France and you're here in England, then you won't be able to change their education. But as long as they're your vassal, they're a landed vassal, you can change your child's education. So that's a fantastic change. Characters are less likely to cheat on their spouses. Another really good change, because that was happening far too often. So if you guys recall the confused heritage intrigue scheming event, we had it happen in the last episode, and I've complained about it a couple times, where it essentially creates a bastard where there wasn't one. It was a thing that you could take, where you could question the legitimacy of a child. And then it doesn't just question it, though. It actually makes the child a bastard. Even if they weren't, even if there was no, your spouse didn't cheat on you, it makes, and it happened to our son. Again, this is just happened last episode with the disputed heritage. That's the event. Again, it makes absolutely no sense because it actually creates a relationship that wasn't there. It turns your kid into a bastard. It creates a adulterous relationship between your spouse and somebody else that was never there, which was ridiculous, super stupid. That has been made so that the AI will not take it, because Paradox recognized that it was happening all the time, and it results in everybody being a bastard, all over the world. Everybody is a bastard because of that one damn event. I mean, we saw it a lot, quite a few times, guys. That has been made so it won't fire. The AI won't use it anymore, which is really good, because if you can't teach them to use it effectively, then they shouldn't use it, because they're really ruining the game a little bit. That was a big deal for me. I really hated that decision. The AI is now less likely to embark onto their ships. So we see this all the time. AI wants to come over here and attack us here, and then they'll embark on their ships here just to come over here. And it's not really quicker, and it costs them money. And even if it is quicker, again, it costs them money. And then when they disembark, they have that penalty for 30 days, where they're just not as good in combat. They have the advantage penalty. So it was just ridiculous. And I think that's also why the AI was constantly going broke during wars, because they were always embarking. So the AI is less likely to do that. That alone is going to help them in battles quite a bit. The dynasty tree was a complete pain to navigate in because you couldn't scroll through it. The only way to navigate is to zoom out and then zoom in to where you wanted to. That was the only way to deal it, to move around this. So that was the main reason why we haven't really gone in this much looking at our dynasty, is just because it was a pain. But now we can move around on it. So yeah, that'll be very, very nice. And maybe we'll look at that. Not this episode, since we're already talking about this, and I don't want to spend too much more time, not playing the game. So maybe next episode. We'll take a look at the dynasty tree, because I know a few people have asked me to. So mercs now count in the total troop numbers. We saw this last episode where I was shocked at the number of troops that we were fighting against here in Egypt, because they said they only had 10,000 troops total, and we could see 18,000 or something like that just on the map. So it was quite confusing. I wasn't expecting to see that kind of number, considering the fact that it told us here that they only had 10,000 troops. And I assumed that mercs would be counted in that. They weren't. Apparently that was a bug. Mercs were supposed to be counted in that total troop number, but they were not. So resulted in not just the player being confused, but also the AI, because they weren't associating the merc numbers either. So that should be really helpful for the game overall. And then also some buttons are now easier to click. We've seen this with several buttons in the game where they just don't, they just are very difficult to click. The beneficiary one is one of them. I know they fixed that one. I don't know if they fixed the problem here when you're doing the men-at-arms, the create men-at-arms. Sometimes I had issues clicking that one. I didn't see if they fixed that one, but the beneficiary one, which we had issues with the episode before last, it's kind of hard to click. They fixed that, as well as many other ones. Here's another thing that looks a little bit different as well. I like it. I think it looks a lot better. You see that's purple there. These are just a little bit different colors here. All right, so that's all I wanted to go over on the patch notes. Again, they were massive patch notes, so there were a lot of stuff on there. If you want to know everything that's there, then go check out the post on the Paradox forums where they have the full patch notes. But that's all we're going to go over here. Let's go and get started in today's episode. The first thing I want to do is take care of some stuff that I meant to do in the previous two videos, and I just didn't do them. The last one, I was kind of rushing in that one, so I wasn't I probably shouldn't have tried to rush that video out. But I wanted to have a video, so we ended up forgetting to do certain things, and that one as well. Even though I put in the pinned comment we needed to do it, and I just completely forgot. So this was one of them. We need to pick ourselves a new fascination for our culture. And I think the one that we're going to go for is the knighthood. I like the knight effect in this. Plus 20% makes knights a lot better overall. And then plus 5 opinion is a nice bonus on top of it. I think that'll be helpful. So we're going to go for that one. I'm mainly just trying to make these knights a bit better. I would normally go with the men-at-arms, but we're in a situation where we could spend a lot of money on men-at-arms right now. And we just haven't, because we've been short money. We're spending our money on other things. We have another men-at-arms since we become an emperor. We can get a 7th one. We haven't done that yet. These guys aren't even full size yet, so I don't really see any reason to get that one in this particular case, just because we haven't got it yet. There's a lot of other good options too, getting like the crossbowmen or the trebuchets. They'd be great as well. But let's go for the knight effect on this, guys. So we're gonna do that, and then the other thing we need to do is name our primary title, which is called the Empire of England. And I really don't think that's a fitting title for us. Now, it includes the kingdoms of Brittany, England, and Wales. Also, they forgot to change the adjective. They didn't do that automatically to English. So the adjective is England, even though if you're looking like England, the Kingdom of England, it's England, English. But yeah, they didn't do that for our empire title. So yeah, we're going to go and change this. I asked you guys for suggestions in the comments, the previous videos. And almost everybody said that it should be some type of equivalent to the British Empire. I think one person said Great Britain, so that'd be one option. Another person said United Kingdom. But the most popular one was the British Empire. It was the most popular suggestion, so that's the one we'll go with. There was one suggestion, which was pretty unique, that I really liked. And that was a suggestion to have like the Empire of Eden or something like that. Because our name is Adam, and so, the Garden of Eden and all. It would be quite heretical, perhaps. Yeah, I would say that some might consider that heretical, but it would be a fun name. I think it would be kind of cool. But yeah, to call your empire Paradise, to make it the equivalent of God's Paradise, I think some people might not agree with that in the church. So we're not going to go with that. But I did like it. I thought it was a pretty unique suggestion. So we're just going to do British for our adjective here. And then we also have the Empire of Britannia, so we're going to have to, so we're going to have to conquer that, man. So let's go to rename it. Empire of, okay, so it has to be Empire of, so we're just going to have to do Empire of, that's kind of a bummer, you can't say the British Empire, huh? So we might have to do Empire of Britain, I guess. Yeah, it'll have to be Empire of Britain. Okay. I could say the British Isles, Empire of the British Isles. We'll just say Empire of Britain. Let me know what you guys think, if we should make an adjustment there. Because we can always change it again. So let me know in the comments if you think it should be British Isles instead. And then the last thing, guys. I didn't expect this intro to take this long. So here in Jerusalem, where Hugh took over as king, and he was supposed to be a member of our dynasty, and I was really confused why he wasn't. That is because he's a bastard. I did not see that he was a bastard. He's a bastard founder. If I knew he was a bastard, as soon as he became a king, he leaves our dynasty and creates his own dynasty. And should not have put a bastard in this place, but I didn't even notice that he was one. So that's unfortunate. That means that we didn't get an extra kingdom for our renown. That would have been super helpful. But obviously didn't happen, unfortunately. So let's go and start with today's episode. We have a ton of money to spend. I guess we'll go ahead and start with that. They actually changed the cost of some things. So now adding new holdings is cheaper. It used to be 600, it's now 400. So that's cheaper. Also, I noticed that it might be slightly cheaper to do these. I'm not entirely sure. Now, obviously, this one's 700 because it would be the next level. But yeah, I think it might be slightly cheaper to upgrade those. It seemed like it. I didn't see that on the patch notes, though. So yeah, let's go ahead and build some stuff. Okay, we're already upgrading here. Let's can't do that. Let's look for something to construct. Oh yes, that's right. We wanted to do the duchy building here. We haven't done that yet. I think we're gonna do the blacksmiths, guys. This increases the heavy infantry's and spearmen's damage and defense. It's super helpful, making those better. And then your men-at-arms maintenance is also decreased. So I think that'd be helpful to have. So we're gonna get that one. Up here in Scotland. Okay, so I think we still have more money to spend. I guess we could go and do that now. We have more holdings that are allowed, so I think we'll go ahead and create our last holding here. And I really tend to do a castle again right here. I think that would probably be the best bet. Could do a city, but yeah, I prefer to just have another castle here, so that we can hold that title, at least for now. Maybe we'll give it out in the future, but probably not. I think the ones here in our capital county are typically going to be the best ones for us. Although I suppose they do have less building slots, so there's that. They got the 3 instead of 4. I forgot we had hired the knights. This guy is very good at stewardship. So he would actually make a very good vassal. He's a different religion, though. Let's go and recruit him to our court. And then maybe we'll start, now that we're a Crusader King, and, obviously Adam is very much focused on religious matters in some ways. Again, I think he has a different interpretation of piety and religion than would be typical. But I think he's going to start demanding conversion of some of the characters in his realm, especially those that rule over a lot of land, like Duke Roger here. Now, we need to finish up this war, because these could result in us having to fight some rebellions, or perhaps we might have to arrest some people. Oh, look at France changed back to Leon. It looks like the king died. Okay, interesting. So he died, and did he only have one son? Huh. Very interesting that none of his other sons... Oh, they're all bastards. Okay. Well, this one's not. I wonder why he didn't get anything. Yeah, he didn't get a single title. I mean, they gotta have partition inheritance, I would assume. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why they didn't have to split this up. I thought it was going to split up once he died. I thought it would split up between his sons a little bit, because he had multiple kingdoms, but somehow his one son inherited all 3 kingdoms. I'm not entirely sure why. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything that would result in this character. You know, he's not disinherited. Yeah, I don't understand how they avoided that. This really should have split up. That would have been very nice if it had. Could have split up. Obviously, he's a bastard, so he wouldn't have got anything. But it would split up into 2 with perhaps, I don't know which title he would have got. The main guy would have got France for sure, and then the younger brother would have likely got either Galicia or the Leon. But that didn't happen. We're still waiting, and I forgot we're on speed 2, my bad. Let me speed this up a little bit. We're still waiting for our army here to get to Ireland to assist us. So there's the 2,000 right there. We'll wait until the entire army gets here. We do have another knight that we can hire, so let's go and do so. He was an expensive one. Probably far more than was worth it, honestly. Betrothed can be married. I don't even know who these characters are, but sure. We accept that. Is there anything that we need to be aware of over here? We might have a lot of prisoners I haven't dealt with. We did just have that war. We could also get money from the Pope. I don't know if we want to spend the piety on that, though. There's a lot of other things we could spend piety on. We have all these criminals we have to go through. I mean, most of them aren't criminals. We got them in a war. But yeah, we do need to go through these. It'd be one way to make money. I think these ones here, we were still waiting on money, or we could, of course, you know, we're waiting for them to get higher amounts of money here. We could, of course, kill them as well for, you know, the, what is our dread at? It's at 86. So maybe we do want to look at killing somebody for the dread. She doesn't have enough money. We might just end up keeping her anyway because she's a countess. Yeah, all these guys do not have anywhere near the full funds that we can get from them. Now, given we can't get a lot of money from for these characters, 300 gold total here. Yeah, they're going to need a lot more money for me to accept this. At least a little bit closer to the 300. Maybe they don't have to have the full 300. This woman here, yeah, we'll ransom her off. There's 300 gold. I'm looking for those knights. Here's another 300. He might not have the gold at that point. Yeah, he's going to be a little bit short. We could ask him again after he accepts that and get another, like, what, 260. And then these characters here, I'm about to say, like, we will just ransom them for whatever they have. The Sheik, and I think this is the other knight that he had. So this guy will probably just let him out. We'll demand his conversion. But with this guy, the Sheik here, I mean, we could demand his conversion. Oh yeah, that's right, he's a landed ruler, so we can't do that. Yeah, we'll just do it for the 69 gold. We'll give him a discount. Remember, these are the 2 knights that charged into our army. A very large army that they just charged into. And they are still remembered. And so thus they will be rewarded for their valor. All right, so let's go ahead and put our troops over here. We have enough where even with the penalty, they wouldn't be able to win. We did attack, it looks like, what, 1 knight there maybe? Yeah. They had just raised up. All right, excellent. All right, so a whole army is here. We have to wait until they lose that penalty before we do anything. Though we might want to go ahead and spread them out because they don't really have a lot of supplies here. We were able to sway the Patriarch. Excellent. So he definitely likes us quite a bit, so we could stop swaying him, I suppose. Maybe work on somebody else. Yeah, we should probably improve our opinion with some of our vassals here. That'd be very good. Another option would be to do some more romancing. I'm looking for the character that's here, because it's not him. Is he dead? Let's take a look here. Oh, he's still there. Okay. That must have been one of his vassals then. Alright, so he is betrothed to a 13-year-old girl. Okay. So it did seem like most people were voting for us to wait to kill him and to go ahead and go after his next wife. So I think that's what we'll do. Yeah, we'll wait till it gets betrothed. That'll be 3 years from now. I'll try and remember, guys. If I forget, then remind me for the next episode. Empress Dubigela is pregnant again. Very nice. Maybe we'll have a son. And unfortunately, our hook has expired on the king. Oh, damn. Yeah, I was waiting for him to pay, and he just didn't have enough money. I guess that's one of the penalties of waiting, is you might end up losing the hook. So this is 300 gold for him. On our nephew, yeah, let's go and demand the money from him. I don't see what else we would have done with that character. Alright, just seeing if there's anything else we can do here. We could go back into our prisoners and see if there's any other ones we might want to release. See if they have any money, or remember there were a few characters that had multiple ones we needed to ask about. I think the other one is this character here. Yeah, there's another 300 gold. Excellent. So he's earning pretty good money per month, that character. So yeah, we're sitting on a ton of funds now. Well, the curse undone. The twists and turns of fate have not always been to my advantage. God knew that I was cursed the day I met Earl Aubrey. Today, however, that curse has been lifted. Fate has smiled upon me and brought that abhorrent troll to his grave. So remember, the Earl here was one of our rivals. Thus, we lost stress since we outlived him. All right, excellent. So we are actually sieging this. I didn't intend to siege it, but yeah, we can go and keep doing that, I suppose. So we're gonna get rid of these two so that we can merge these ones. And then we already have the armies assembled, which is excellent. So this army is going to go ahead and attack their armies. We'll go after them, move over that way. With these two, which I don't know if they have the commanders appointed that we want. Yeah, it looks like they should be good. Another thing that was changed is that this now shows your advantage rather than your martial ability. So he's got the 25 martial, so that's the reason why that's higher than before, because it kind of changed that. So this is one of the provinces attacked, but we need to attack this one here, their capital here and their capital here. So those are the ones we should focus on. How large is this fort? Let's just take a look here. I mean, it's almost done. It says 2 months. It's a level 3 fort. Okay. There's also this one here. It's a level 3. And there, level 2. Okay, got it. So this is what we're going to do, guys. We're going to take this army and have them go up to here. Go after that capital. And we'll let that army stay there and finish up that siege. Now, we do need to watch here because it does look like another cadet branch was created. Okay. Alright, so yeah, we don't want to fight that guy. Not with this army anyways. So we'll try and avoid him. Catch him with this army here. This would be a fantastic attack. Look at how they changed the look here. Just, I don't know, it just looks more attractive. I like that. Yeah, that's very nice. Is it a different color when it's your own siege? It is. It's blue. Alright, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I like that. Just overall, they improved the look to the game quite a bit, which is already a very attractive UI, I feel. So yeah, they're going to try and retreat now because they know they're going to get that terrain penalty, so they're not interested in fighting us here. So we have to try and get them engaged. You can see they're still trying to go out to sea. He did make a different choice there. We got to try and engage him in a good... I mean, we'll beat him no matter what. He has taken attrition with each one of those moves too, so that's not going well for him. So we got a decent knight here. Let's go ahead and recruit him to court. And maybe we'll go ahead and make sure he converts while he likes us. Alright, excellent. So yeah, just kind of focusing on getting this conflict done, and then we have several things that we can do. But yeah, we're kind of stuck into this conflict, unfortunately. So let's go and attack here. They're, oh well, there's no fort there, so we're not gonna get the bonus. And we'd be defending, they would be defending across a river, so yeah, not the best way to do this. In fact, we actually have a lack of supplies. What we really ought to do is go into allied territory and spend a little bit of time collecting supplies. Yeah, let's go and do that, because we're gonna get a penalty. And you know, we have our sieges going, so we're going to be getting that war score ticking back up here soon. Now, they might attack that 1500. That's what it looks like. Yeah, they may end up attacking it with the 2800 there. I'm looking for... You know what? We could go here. We'll go here. And maybe they'll stop him from coming down here and attacking these guys. I don't know. Tourney troubles. As Emperor, I have been obliged to attend a local jousting tournament, but the contestants have been delayed. The tourney won't start for at least another hour. My Chancellor, the Duke, is here and, as always, is being an insufferable lout. His constant complaining is making everyone even more miserable than normal. On the other hand, I just noticed a merchant dropping off a cart of spiced wines. Alright, so we can push him into the horse's water trough to liven things up. He'll become a rival, and because we're arbitrary and impatient, we would lose stress. We'd gain 150 prestige. We say a good drink always improves my mood. We would lose stress and have a 10% chance of getting the drunkard trait. Or we say I've wasted enough time on this disaster. I think we'd go for this one. Obviously, we have 2 traits that result in our character really enjoying this. So, of course, we're going to do that. Now, it will result in us having a rivalry with a kind of powerful vassal. He has, I suppose he has the powerful vassal. Yeah, I guess there's that. He's also the Chancellor. He really likes us. That's interesting. Why? Oh, we worked on swaying him twice. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And we have a lot of bonuses as well. So that helps as well. So he's terrified of us. And now we're going to bully him. So let's go ahead and push him into the trough. So we now have a new rival after we just outlived one of our rivals. Does he, let me just take a look. Does he have a different faith? He does not. He's Catholic. Okay. Because I was going to say, he would be the first one we were going to create some issues with. So I'm trying to keep this guy over on this side of things. I don't expect that they'll attack anybody. These guys might go down this way once we move there. I'm just trying to get our supplies improved while also supporting our siege troops. So we'll just see what they do here. Let's just speed this up a little bit since we're just waiting on sieges. We do have money. I guess we'll sit on that for right now, unless we can hold a feast, because I do want to do that. We can also extort our subjects, so I suppose we'll want to do that as well. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that first, and then we'll hold the feast. Because you know we love doing this. It's very fitting for Adam, I feel. Alright, so got that siege done, got a couple prisoners. We'll take a look at that in a minute. My cousin Duke Geoffrey, now there's a man expression. I'm not entirely sure what that means. A man expression. He's talking about the way he's standing. He already knows for what purpose I'm approaching him. I am loyal, I pay my dues, he insists. How can you ask more of me? Well, because we do. We ask more of everybody. He doesn't really like us. He's terrified of us, though, as everybody is. Consider an extra little test of loyalty. Do not worry, I will have everyone pay. This will be tyrannical. Or I'm merely joking, Geoffrey. Yeah, we're going to continue doing this one here. And yeah, we're just earning so much money from all these decisions. Adam just, he's got a lot of money, man. Got a lot of money to play around with. So with that in mind, we might actually improve, because I don't think we have anything left to build. And we don't have the duchy title there. We could create that, of course. We do have titles or slots here, but of course we're already building there. We haven't built in this one. I don't know that we'll keep that one. So I don't know if I want to improve it. That'd be the first one I'd give up. So I don't think we'll improve that one. You know what? I guess we will just have to improve the fortifications. There's nothing else to do, and that'll allow us to, yeah, I guess we'll have to do that. And that'll allow us to further upgrade them. So these guys are already building here. I guess Buckingham is where we'll do it. Just going to upgrade that. Because again, there's just nothing else to do with that money that we have. And we still have a ton of money. So we could even do another one if we so desired. I guess we will. Well, let's do this feast first. Yeah, let's go and do the feast. I mean, it's not like we're going to spend a lot of money on the feast, but... Alright, so I don't know if these guys are coming over here to attack them. Probably. That's a shame. I just can't get my supplies back up. So yeah, we're going to have to come down here now. We can't let him attack us, obviously. A cheery gathering. Welcome, friends. So we'll begin our feast. Oh, we're done with the siege here. I didn't realize that. Alright, so we're at 69% here for this conflict against the north. So what else might we want to go? I guess we'd just go for this one next. Yeah, that's the only real choice here. So go for that one. And then we'll focus on getting these guys knocked out of the conflict. They are going to attack our allies' army, our wife's army. So we've got a couple events here. First one is regarding our feast. Disaster strikes. My lord, the wine. We cracked. Okay, we've seen this event many times. So we can say the wine merchant should be still in town. I don't think we would do that. We'd probably have to say we all pitch in. And we're not the most like greediest character, but yeah, I just don't know that we would do that. Yeah. I think we probably just say we all have to pitch in. So shifting interest. I'm watching Petty King George play with other children. When the Count tried to push him over, the moment did not last long, as George soon had made an entirely new game out of it, forgetting the previous game entirely. Okay, so this is because, of course, we are his guardian. So we still have him on the intrigue focus. Okay. So we can say moving on is often the best approach, and he'll keep the fickle trait. So he has the fickle trait right now, which changes his mind more often than not, making him hard to predict. We can say he must never let others walk all over him, and then he'll gain the wrathful trait. Or George must be taught to turn the other cheek, and then he'll gain the forgiving trait. Again, we probably won't play as this character, more than likely, because we have a son and a daughter now, and our wife is pregnant again. So yeah, I don't expect we'll be playing as him. But I figured we'd go ahead and finish up his education. So which one would Adam go for? He must never let others walk all over him. I feel like he might say that. Yeah, I feel like he would say that. Adam would say this. So we'll take the stress hit, and he will become Raffle, the petty King George of Verona. All right, so they did attack our allies' army. He's going to lose that, unfortunately. We'll try and come over here and help him, but yeah, I don't know. We'll get there over there in time. Probably not. Oh, shit, my bad. I didn't realize it was pause there. Did we win here? We did. We did win here, and I just forgot to move our army on. So we could go ahead and go over to this one. I think we should just go ahead and go after the capital next, though. Let's get that taken. What is in a name? With the babe cradled in her arms, Empress Dubagilla looks at me, head held high and eyes glowing with pride. And so yeah, this is the event that fires sometimes, and you don't get the name event. You have to do this one if you want to pick a different name. It's just your spouse suggesting a certain name, and sometimes they suggest something decent. I think in this case it's probably not a good name, because aren't we at war with this guy? Maybe we're not. Huh, I was thinking we were at war with him. Okay, maybe we're not. Okay, I'm going to the wrong location. And I thought we were at war with Munster, but that is not the case. So this is her brother, right? No, not her brother. Doesn't seem he is at all related to her. No, it is part of her dynasty. I'm not entirely sure who he is. I assume, well, no, 46 years old. Okay, I see. This is her uncle. Okay, so this is her uncle here. That is gained that. So she wants to name the kid after her uncle. Okay, I was thinking it was one of her enemies. You know what? Sure. I named the other kids. You can, well, would we do that? Nah, maybe we wouldn't do that. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if we would do that or not. We're pretty arrogant. Like we would be the best to pick the names. And we're arbitrary, so I mean, with arbitrary, you kind of can do anything in a way, because arbitrary is essentially you typically make decisions based on your own whim. You don't really make them based on logic all the time, so really you can kind of use this trait to explain a lot of choices. Oh, the stress level's up here. Is that for everybody or just for you? Okay, it's just for you. I was gonna say that'd be kind of cool if you could see how stressed out characters are. So yeah, I kind of feel like, and I don't even know that I can pronounce that name, so we would just go with something else in this case. We already have an Adam, so maybe give her, I don't know how that's pronounced. Is that like Hugh, so Lou? Or is it something else? Pronounce something else. How about we'll go after her father? We'll name our child after her father, and I'll pronounce it Lou until somebody corrects me otherwise. So I think that's a good compromise. We pick the name, because of course we pick better names than she does. And it's still after somebody in her family. And we'll call him Lou for right now. Again, correct me if that's not the proper pronunciation. We do have to stop our army from going over here, since we're not at war with them. And they would be allied, so that makes sense. Sullied judgment. As the Duchess Sienna's eyes widen at my words, I realize, oh no. I just realized what I've said. So we ended up spreading his secret. I struggle to push my tankard away. I've had too much to drink. I try to get up wobbling a little. Don't trust a word I say. So yeah, we just shared his secret. So with that in mind, oh, we didn't blackmail him. That's why. Okay. We have the secret, but not the hook. So yeah, let's go and do that. Blackmail him. It's gonna irritate him, but that's okay. We improved his relations a lot, and I think that's what I was waiting for. I think I was waiting to finish the swaying of him. So now we can demand payments up here. I get that 300 gold from him. All right, excellent. It's made a little bit more money. So what else do we want to do with our money here? So I suppose we should just work on just in our one capital duchy here. We'll build all the forts there, since we do have so much money. As my guests depart, with everyone headed for their respective homes, I'm proud to say the feast was a success. And we have our wife, Dubagilla, to thank for that. 150 prestige, a little bit of an opinion boost. And I don't know what happened there. I don't know where his army went. Where the hell did they go? Did they move over to attack us? No, it doesn't look like it. It looks like he won that battle and then he disbanded, perhaps. Okay, let's go ahead and go over here, and we'll attempt to attack that army. You know he'll probably take off. What we really need to do, how long is this going to take? 11 months. What we really need to do is just sit somewhere and collect some supplies, because we do have some supply issues. So we'll stay there. We'll keep these sieges going. Oh, there's his army. I couldn't see him. All right, so now we need to go help out our army here, because we are very much going to lose that battle. Hopefully I'll get there in time, and just barely. There's no defensive penalties here, because we are sitting in a plains province. We finished up the siege here. That puts it at 100%. So now we're just waiting until it's done. Don't need to worry about that army there, since this peace should happen soon. In fact, there's really not anything to do here except for maybe help with the siege. I don't remember how good the progress was. Yeah, we'll go ahead and just help with the siege to get it done a little bit quicker. All right, so the battle's won. That might, not enough. We're at 59% here. So we killed almost 1,600. Lost 600 again. That was because they attacked our one army for a while there without us assisting. Earl Henry again killed somebody in battle here. Did a good job. Wounded a few as well. Looks like we captured some guys. All right, very helpful. So let's go ahead and move our army off of here. Again, we just need to let them sit somewhere and collect some damn supply. Looking for somewhere close by here. Doesn't look like there's anywhere except for there. That's where we'll go. Alright, so we've gotten the victory here. And, of course, we're going to improve our opinion with our wife quite a bit. So maybe it'll make it more likely we have children. And then, of course, we're going to also get some prestige. Prestige is looking very good. In fact, we might actually become... I don't see how we don't become a living legend as Adam II. Yeah, I think we definitely will. Because he's only 27 years old and he already has that extremely high prestige. Now, given he's been king for a long time, that's part of the reason for that. Alright, so yeah, this war is the last conflict we got to get done here in Ireland. Got some more guests arriving. And looks like we have a battle here happening, so let's go help them. Make sure we win that. Alright, so that gets us up to 94% here. And killed over 1,000 men. And let's just take a look at the events. There were no night events, probably because our knights arrived a little bit too late, I think. So let's go back here now. And let's just get this siege done. Now, they raised up another army here, but it's pretty tiny, so I'm not too worried about it. And it looks like our son is a troublemaker. So he got the trait Rowdy. While I have come to expect mischief from my son and heir Adam, his creativity keeps me on my toes. When it is not a prank, it is a brawl, a disgruntled tutor, or Gray's knees from an adventure gone wrong. Never a dull moment. Alright, interesting. What the... Oh, I never did stop swaying that guy. I thought I did. Whoops. Yeah, we didn't stop swaying him. Okay, I wanted to change it up and then I didn't. I think that's right, I got distracted because I was looking over here at that character. So yeah, I got all distracted and we didn't sway anybody. Well, let's go and change this up then. Let's sway Duke Roger. Yeah, we'll sway Duke Roger. 95% chance of success here. And just one more thing we need, just this battle done or anything, honestly. Oh, they sieged this down, but we were actually trying to take it back. I didn't realize that was our allies' territory, but yeah, it's all connected here. Stumble upon my vassal, the Reeve, crouching beside my dog, vigorously scratching his stomach. This dog of yours is quite charming. So we got a little opinion boost there with our dog. And our wife is pregnant again. Okay. Remember, we do have two different sons, so the kingdoms will be split. This will result in Lou. Again, I'm just pronouncing it as Lou, and correct me if it's like Lug or something like that, or something else. But Lou here is set to inherit two kingdoms, so that's kind of a problem. I don't really like when your sons get all those kingdoms. I feel like you lose control of just too much of your land. I frankly don't really like having the extra kingdom titles when we're in a partition inheritance. I don't really like it. So we might change that by either, obviously you can't change our succession laws up yet, but yeah, we might end up changing that by getting rid of the titles, guys. Getting rid of the Kingdom of Brittany and Kingdom of Wales titles. Just not, I'm not a big fan of having those, as you just lose them anyways. So yeah, I think we might just get rid of them. The only reason why we ever created them in the first place was so that we could do that emperor title. But yeah, I don't think we'll keep them around. Because yeah, I don't really like the way that works when it comes to the partition inheritance. So I think we'll likely go ahead and get rid of those. Hit our prestige, but that's okay. We'll do that a little bit. We won't do it right now. Let's get this war done with. We're at 100%, so we're just waiting now until she finishes this, so that we can finally disband our armies. But no, we can't, because we were called into another damn conflict. Tons of things happening here, guys. Let's just get this paused. Scheme at court. My spy master has come to me with grave news. While we do not know who yet, someone is plotting to kill my prisoner. Okay. Just know of the existence of that plot. A faction has disbanded. That faction to install Duke Geoffrey. And we got a trained healer. But she's really not that great. I mean, her learning's okay. It could be better. But it's not terrible. I don't know if we have a physician. Let's take a look. Our court physician here, she is the same. They have the same ratings, apparently. Okay. So we won't replace her. She's done a good enough job, I suppose. So we got our first call to arms here in the patch. So you can see, because this is an offensive war, it's now 20 opinion. Again, I think it was 10 before, so it's double. The defensive ones is negative 50. So even a huge opinion hit. But we'll lose 350 fame if we decline. So it's quite expensive. It's really not much of an option to refuse and keep your fame up. In this particular case, I think we are going to refuse, though. It's our mother. Again, we're not really happy with our mother because none of her titles are going to us. Huh. Interesting. I don't know that this would be a good thing, but Prince Adam is set to inherit her titles, is now her primary heir. Of course, that's because it's a male grandson who is not landed. So he would inherit all these titles. Here's the problem, guys, is, yeah, this is like a massive issue. I don't know that he would be able to inherit all of our other titles. Well, maybe if our crown authority was low enough, if we kept it on like limited crown authority, then I suppose it would work. We wouldn't be able to increase it, which I was planning on doing so in 3 years. But yeah, if we increased it, then that would cause serious issues, because what would happen is that after he inherited all these titles from our mother, he would not be able to inherit our titles here. Now, I guess once we attack France, this will no longer be a problem. But yeah, overall, it's just kind of weird with the rules that titles can't be inherited outside your realm. I'm not entirely sure where they get that from. Certainly later in history, you weren't really seeing, titles being inherited outside. King would never stand for that. But the Middle Ages, I don't know if there's really any historical precedent for that. They can't, I don't know, it just results in some weird stuff, because it's not that hard to get, the crown authority up. So overall, I don't really like that. I think in this particular case, we're probably going to refuse this. She probably does need our help. But again, I feel like Adam's kind of angry at his mother because she won't give him his titles. I know that this is because of game terms, but we're going to roleplay this as that she's just refusing to give the titles to her son. Maybe he's just too powerful. I don't know her reasoning why, but yeah, we're kind of angry with our mother since we're not getting the titles. So I think we're going to go ahead and decline this. And plus, I'm trying to have a period of peace for just a second, so that we can do our own conflicts. We're not distracted with our allies' conflicts. All right, so we achieved victory here. Of course, our wife is going to love us. And we did lose a lot of fame here as well, so it's going to be harder to get the living legend, but I do expect we'll still get it, guys. Oh, I didn't realize I had that plane. Let's go and disband our armies. We completed the pastures here. And it looks like he's having trouble converting. Not surprising. I think it's actually down here that he's converting. Yeah, it's taking him forever. Let's go ahead and get one of these improved now. I guess we'll do the money one. Upgrade that. And I think we should wait just a little while, because we have up to 20,000 levies right now, or 20,000 soldiers, and you can see we have 9,000. We just don't have, we haven't given them any time to, assemble, to build that back up. All right, so he wants to, would you let him go in return for this offer? You're not offering me anything, man. Yeah, you didn't even grant us anything. Let's take a look at our prisoner situation because we did get a bunch of new prisoners. So let's go see if there's any good options here. So we'll go through all these, see if we can get any good amount of money for any of these characters here. Kind of close. It doesn't have to be exact, but definitely needs to be at least like, I don't know, 75% of what we should get, or close to that anyway. This character here is willing. Yeah, I suppose we're gonna do this one. This one's not bad. It's not quite as much as I'd like, but yeah, it could be worse. See if there's any other options. Her here, yeah, I suppose we'll just use these for increasing our dread. We'll just keep them locked up. Adam's kind of arbitrary like that. Yeah, we won't be able to do that one yet. Yeah, no, these are no money. This one's not bad. Yeah, we'll do this one. That's close enough. This will be for a favor. I think that these ones are not considered. Oh, I guess you can. Okay. This is the Irish Christianity. All right, we can't execute her. I think we'll probably just release her. If she ain't got no money, yeah, we'll just release her. We can demand her conversion too. I suppose we'll do that. Yeah, we'll do that. That'll work. We'll take a look at this character here. 241 gold, but I think she's already received one of our offers here. 250 gold here. Yeah, that works. And then what are we getting here? Nothing. Okay, so let's get those offers accepted and we'll dip back in there in a little bit. All right, so lots and lots of money, guys. Adam is just absolutely swimming in funds. Now, is there anything else we can do up here? Yeah, not seeing anything that we need to be aware of. Okay, so yeah, again, I think we will probably destroy the kingdom titles just because of the way the inheritance works. It just results in your other sons, like taking all the lands. Even in the high partition, which is typically kind of strange that they get so many titles, even when you have the high partition on. One of the factions disbanded. Do we have any factions against us right now? We do not. Everybody's just so damn afraid that they don't, they can't keep their factions going. So yeah, let's go ahead and destroy these two titles, guys. Again, it's just not very realistic that all your kingdom titles will be granted out on at this level, this period of time. I mean, we're in the 12th century, and you're gonna give all your kingdom titles out to your other sons. Especially kingdom titles, like the Kingdom of Wales. I mean, that's not what happened historically, and then give that to other sons. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and just destroy these titles. Of course, this is going to cost a very large amount of prestige. However, we have a lot of prestige as well. It'll also piss off everybody who's within these kingdoms, but again, not a big deal. And we are the emperor of all these titles here, so we still get the bonuses from them. I think, I don't think we'll get those penalties. With the opinion. So that's going to destroy those two titles there. And then we will result in, that will result in our son getting the duchy up here. We could also create another duchy for him if we wanted him to get something else. This would result in him getting two tiles up here. I'm okay with him getting those. I think that's probably what we do. Although I'd like to keep this one in our hands. We have another son, so yeah, this is another reason why I might have to create a duchy tile for him. He's set as being Paul right now. Let's find a different name. I'm entirely sure. We could always go with a Robert. Has he done a William yet? I don't know if he would look up to that's his great-grandfather. I don't know that he'd look up to his great-grandfather in that way. Maybe. I mean, he's pretty famous. So, yeah, I think we might go with William. I'm probably going to have to spell this out here. I don't think we'll find it. Trying to be lazy here. It might only go back a certain length. It was just so much easier to just spell that out. So we're going to name him William. And what are these ransom offers? Are they not offering us anything? Because I'm not seeing any offers here. Yeah, they're just trying to get us trying to rip us off. We were not able to sway Duke Roger. Okay. We'll go back through these, see if they, because I know there's at least one offer that they would have accepted, but they were already considering one of the offers from us. Yeah, maybe they're broke now. Yeah, I think they're broke. Probably from paying us on that last one. All right, so we'll just wait. We got just absolutely ton of money, man. I feel like we should go ahead and start building additional titles here. We have room in our domain, so yeah, I think that's what we'll end up doing, guys. I guess we'll go with something here. Yeah, I think we'll go with something here. Let's construct a new holding. And I guess we'll do another castle. Again, just swimming in money. Very, very nice, man. So yeah, we got the prisoners gonna be ransomed. There's something new here. We got several prisoners we can imprison. That's right, I did want to do something with that. I wanted to start looking at some of our like powerful vassals, like for instance, Northumbria here. They are, you know, Cathar. And thus I feel like we should demand that they convert. I feel like this is something that Adam would now start to be kind of concerned with, like trying to convert his realm. So let's go and demand her conversion. And we'll do all this before we go to war with Leon or France, whatever you want to call them. We'll kind of make some demands of any vassals that maybe we should do them one at a time. Yeah, we'll do them one at a time, I suppose. And of course, they'll often ask for something. And many times it's money, so this is a good thing to use our money for. And I think that's what we'll do. Now we could just straight up arrest her. Maybe we'd want to arrest her, and this would be a good chance to finally break up these duchy titles. Yeah, you know, we're of the type of the mind that maybe we're like, hey, I'm not going to pay you to follow the one and true faith. So yeah, we're going to instead attempt to arrest you. So what does this offer? Another ransom. Oh yeah, I don't know why everybody's offering they're not giving us anything. Normally I could have swore before the patch it said how much they were offering. Either they're not offering us anything. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. So yeah, we could just straight up revoke a title. And you know, again, we do have, this is something new. I think that now you can revoke titles when you ask them to convert. Before you can only arrest them. You got the imprison because they resisted the conversion. Now you can also revoke titles. So we don't actually have to arrest her to do this. And so I think we will go ahead and take one of her titles. Which one do we want to take though? She has three. She has three possible titles. So we have Northumbria. We also have Lancaster. And then we have the final one here, where she actually has the most land. We could demand all those titles that come with it. I think we'll leave her that one. I'm okay with her having that one. I think we should go after either Lancaster or Northumbria. I think we'll do Northumbria. Yeah, let's demand that title. That's her primary title too, so it would be most embarrassing for her. So let's go back to her and revoke her title. Again, she might refuse. There we go. Revoke this title here. Of course, she's not going to be happy about it. Yeah, it looks like she's going to straight up refuse us, which in that case, she'll rise up in rebellion. We could attempt to arrest her instead, since, yeah, she's definitely going to decline. 100% chance she's going to decline this. So I think we'll try arresting her first then in that case, because we might have a higher chance of arresting her. We have a 100% chance to arrest her. So yeah, then we could just revoke the title, and then we don't have to fight her. So we'll do that. That seems like the better option. Just arrest her. Alright, so she's now arrested because she refused to convert. And we will force her to convert. So let's go back to her. And now we're going to revoke her title of Northumbria. She has absolutely no choice in this matter now. So let's go and revoke that. And of course she's going to hate us because of this. And now we can't demand her conversion here until 1177. However, we could negotiate release and might be able to demand her conversion. We can. She'd absolutely hate us though. So I think we're going to let her sit in the dungeon. She caused a problem here. She made this tedious. Could have been so much easier. We got a stewardship perk. Excellent. Let's go ahead and get that now. I did want to see what this extra thing here is. We're set to inherit some titles. Oh, wait a minute. Huh. Did they lose? Okay, it looks like they lost crown authority because we are now set to inherit our mother's titles. Okay, interesting. So how's her health doing? Poor. She's ailing because she's a beast. Okay. Maybe we'll inherit all her titles in Leon. That would be awesome. And we could do it without a war. I did want to declare war on Leon, but we're right now concentrating on getting some of our vassals to convert. We'll mess with that first, and then we'll go to war. We've done a lot of war in this series, so monthly income per stress level, that's not going to help us at all. I think we'll do the vassal tax contribution next. Yeah, let's do that one. I want to see how much it affects it, though. I always like seeing exactly what we're getting. We're getting 48.1 gold. Wow, that's a lot. And now we're getting 49.3. Okay. So, doing very, very good in the gold department. We're just like swimming in it. There's like so much money and just not enough things for us to do with it right now. And at this point, it's almost like maybe we should just start building the forts everywhere, because I don't know what else to do with the funds. All right, guys, so unfortunately, that is going to be the end of today's episode. Got some new titles, got some things done. You know, we finally seized one of these duchies from these characters, which have had 3 duchies for almost the entire game that we've been playing here. They've just, for whatever reason, the inheritances have not, they just have always had just one son to inherit those titles, I suppose. Or they had high partition at that point, so they didn't get any of those titles. So as far as what our sons are set to get, so right now Adam is going to, of course, get the Empire title, and yeah, as well as several other things. He's going to inherit that from his mom. 14 total titles here with these 3, so 17 titles. And he's set to get the titles up here. There's also more that we can't see. I'm guessing that he's going to get some counties. And then he's going to get the new duchy, Northumbria, the one we just got. As well as, okay, that's all he's getting. Okay, so that all works for me. I'm okay with that, with them getting duchies. I just think the kingdoms are kind of odd when you're the emperor. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and end today's episode. I don't know how long this is going to be. I know that we went over those patch details for a while, so sorry about that. I felt like we needed to go over them, though, because many of the issues that were fixed are things that we've discussed many, many times in the series. So yeah, I wanted to go over those patch notes and their changes. We didn't have any wars here this episode of our own. That's okay. You know, we've been doing a lot of wars, but we do have 3 possible conflicts we could do. Apparently we have one here. Okay, that's over somebody's claims. Got it. Of course, we have the one here in Scotland. Where are his claims at? Does he have any large claims? Nah, it looks like it's just over a county. Okay. Then of course we have all the claims here and our own claims where we can get quite a bit of territory, and there's always the Kingdom of France claim that Duke Roger has here, where we could just gain all this, and then we don't even have to worry about whether or not we inherit that title because of crown authority. So that's a war that I was thinking of doing this episode, but we ended up, you know, having other things that we were dealing with. So maybe we'll do that next episode. I think that would be a good conflict. Now, given we're also raising up our troop numbers, as you can see here, it's just nowhere near our maximum. We could easily get these wars done quicker because he's got a comparable number of troops here, especially if he hires mercenaries with all that money. So that's an option. I do hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you did, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. I do hope to see you guys on the next one, and thanks for watching.